Hello, and welcome to this tutorial about mesh editing and manual cleanup. In this tutorial, you will learn how to locally remesh some faces, manually clean up elements by swapping and collapsing edges, and defeature the included housing model by flattening and aligning some faces. First, we need to retrieve the meshed model that we will use for this tutorial. Let's head to the location where the file was saved and drag and drop it into SimLab. Let's zoom into this region where the elements are locally smaller, and then open the Remesh tool located in the mesh ribbon. We can select the face to remesh, and then edit the parameters to fit the model. Let's click OK to remesh this face. Let's manually clean up some elements by swapping edges. In the Modify region of the mesh ribbon, select the icon for Swap Edge from the By Element icons. We can pick the edges as shown and swap them to clean up the elements. Next, let's clean up some elements with the option to collapse edges. We can zoom into the rib area on the -Z side of the model. Let's select the collapsed edge icon from the By Element icons and choose the nodes and edges as shown to clean up the elements. Next, let's merge 3 faces from the rib by selecting the faces as shown. And then choosing Merge from the Geometry ribbon in the Edit Face section. Let's remesh this face by going back to the mesh ribbon and choosing Grid Mesh. We can select the face and then remesh as shown. We can also remesh one more face as shown using the Grid Mesh tool. Now let's remove some chamfers using the Flatten Face tool. First, we can zoom into one of the machined faces. Then we can open the Flatten tool by going to the Geometry ribbon and the Feature tool in the Body section. Let's select the machined face as the base and check that the thickness or tolerance is set to 2 mm. We can deselect the big chamfer in the middle to preserve it. Kindly note that we could also change the thickness to a lower value, such as 1.3 mm. Let's select OK to flatten the faces and remove the chamfers. Next, we can align some faces to a plane. We can zoom into the bearing area on the positive Y side of the model as shown. Then we can open the Align tool and Geometry feature section. We can use the plane mode for aligning and select the target faces as shown. Let's click on the Define Modify Plane button and select the method as planar face. Then we can select the small portion of the adjacent face as shown and select OK. Then we can select Apply and see that the faces have been aligned. Finally, let's remesh one of these newly aligned faces by going back to Remesh in the Mesh ribbon and selecting the face. We can set the parameters as shown and click OK. This completes the tutorial. Thank you for viewing.